Hi all, it's Baby Bear again from 1008, and I thought I owed you guys this because I am so sorry. I had no idea that this pan monster was only on select servers. I had no idea. I just thought it was a rollout like everything. But I did look back to the updates that Evony sent out and I didn't see it. So looking at all the comments from people from older servers and even from newer servers, they don't have this monster. So I'm excited that we are bringing you breaking news and sneak peeks to the new monsters from server 1008. And as I promised, I was going to test these monsters with Cavalry. I was really hesitant to do this, but because we have those Ramoon drinks, is that how you pronounce it? Ramoon? 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 Okay, I just looked it up and it is Ramune. Okay, sorry, I totally butchered that word. But because we have those drinks, we can get our wounded healed. So it won't be a huge devastating loss when you're like negative 17 million. And yes, I have lost 17 million because of that stupid assistant general glitch like redo. I totally lost 17 million before, so I have a video on that as well. However, this is about the Cavalry march against the Pan level 5, which I think is probably going to be the same HP as the Ymir level 5. It's the same chest. So I know for myself, I cannot solo the level 5 without a huge loss. So just testing it out based on what was said in WC, because you know what? It could be like a world boss. I mean, a lot of times those world boss monsters say ground or siege or, ranged troops are best. And what ends up happening is Cavalry has always beaten them. And I've done a video on that before and wanted to test it out on this particular monster because the thing about this monster is that it's way too pushing you to hit the ground, right? Like it calls itself ranged troop. It gives you the recommendations when you add the troop types. It's very in your face, like sun ground. So from a dev perspective, I can see why this is a little bit different, right? They always want to keep you on your toes here, and which is great. I like that as long as they're not always readjusting and nerfing and readjusting things based on their mistakes. And speaking of mistakes, look at this big fat defeat that we have here. So we can make an educated guess that Cavalry will not defeat the higher level pan monsters. It probably sounds like just like how you can use your range general and kill a lot of monsters because it's so high in power. Once you get up to a certain level, though, you're going to have to use the counter general and march. And the only way that we can kind of prove this here is if we now try the ground, right? Because if we try ground and it loses, then we're back to square one on what can actually work with this dynamic. But if the ground wins, then it's like, okay, it does have an edge. It does actually perform better. Knowing that my cavalry stats and my assistant general, they're all geared to monsters, right? And then I have my ground generals that are PvP ground generals. So they don't have the ground versus monster skills. It's just straight up ground PvP, and they're not that high. The gear is not all Civ gear. It's not, I don't even think it's maxed on the specialties. So definitely lower buffs than the cavalry. So if this ends up winning, then we know this hypothesis is that the ground troops indeed are better to kill the pan monster, the higher level that you go. So I'm actually looking forward to it. I have all of these ground versus monster skill books that I've never used. I have all these ground generals that I've never used. I would love to have a different general that is just skilled to ground versus monsters. And, I will have to test out which one would be the best combination. But I think it's nice. It's like they keep growing this mechanic of the game, and I'm here for this. Like, I think this is doable, right? Like, even if you're not a spender, you can hoard and save these skill books over time, and you can build up your generals and assistant generals, and there is some strategy towards it. And I actually accidentally logged off right as this monster was being hit, but I do have the report, and with the ground march, we did in fact win. And you'll see here, that's actually Easy's troop march, but we can see it on my troop march. And there we go. I'm sure there would have been wounded if I didn't take that Ramune drink, but I'm glad I did. And of course, I always want to share the knowledge with the server. I think it's gatekeeping and really kind of strange that people keep the information within their alliances when, at the end of the day, your server is an entire alliance. I mean, you should be working together. You're going to have to spend the majority of time with them, and you have to fight together. So it's best to just, work together. And it's really weird how hard of a concept it is for some people. But, all I know is I have good karma, good intentions. Everybody in my alliance knows about the karmic intentions, and we have this great karma, and that's all we're going to do is we're going to just keep the good karma going. And actually, as of this moment, I was recording this yesterday, and I was doing the commentary, and we're like locked out of Evony right now. They probably are doing some weird updates, which I think they are, because of course there was another pan monster. Yes, there was another pan monster that is a ground troop pan monster. And now it's all coming together so clearly. And it's funny because when I saw the pan monster, I was like, oh, there's an error, because they usually have these magenta blocks when they have errors in the game. And I thought it was an error, but no, it's actually a pink like dress, which I love, by the way. And it says ground troop. So they're trying to mess with us. Like, if we did not look, if we did not pay attention, we could have easily sent a ground march to this and just been like, why did we lose our troops, Evony, thank you for keeping us on our toes. It is it's like you're doing it on purpose, but yeah. Anyways, here's the thing. Now we figured out the pattern, because I didn't want to tell anybody about these packs for the pan monsters, because I didn't want people to get in an uproar, and then I didn't want Evony to nerf it. And I don't know if I should be telling you guys this, because Evony will probably nerf it, but they gave us a really amazing $4.99 pack. And of course, if you ever buy these for Ymir, the Ymir will last for 24 hours, the buffs, right? And you get a march speed to monsters 50%, and that's it. You get the items in the $4.99 pack, which are much less than what's in here. And we have an added troop attack on monsters 20% in this pack. So it is interesting that they are doing this, but it's better, obviously. It's much better. And that's why I didn't know if I should do this video on it, because I really don't want Evony to nerf it, because it's such a great deal. And I think that people stopped buying the Ymir packs because it started being like a waste, because you wouldn't get a lot of item drops. Like, it kind of nerfs it at a certain point. So it was like, why waste $4.99 on the Ymir boost when we don't really need it? It stopped dropping double drops after a while. It was kind of a pointless spend. But with this, it lasts 5 days. It makes more sense. You get a little bit more. I like where they're going with this, and it can be for smaller spenders or people that only want to splurge on just, a $4.99 pack a week. I think it's a perfect pack for those players. Now, the fact that it lasts 5 days is interesting, right? Because your first day, we had a range. We're going to have ground today. And then tomorrow is probably going to be a cav and then a siege. But then what's going to be on the fifth day? It may be a mixed. I mean, I think that's interesting. Who knows? I don't even think Evony knows. I think they put these monsters in to like test it, to do live testing. So I hope Evony takes our feedback, even though the game shut down and we can't get in. Hopefully they didn't break the system with the pan monsters. That would be sad. So I did get a lot of questions, and I did get a lot of people asking me to show what's in the chest of the pan monsters. I also showed what was in the equivalent Ymir chest, so you can see the difference. And you'll see here that even on the first pan chest, when you open it, it does have about, I would say, 30 to 50% more. I mean, it's not a whole lot more than the Ymir chest, right? But it's clearly, there's more speeds, there's more like little things like refining stones and tactic scrolls. Like if the Ymir has one, the pan chest will have like 2 or 3. So, and it's not all very consistent as well. But of course, the blue chest materials, the large material chest, they're all kind of 1-to-1, right? Like it's kind of the same. So I wouldn't say that anybody's like missing out. I know people were upset that they didn't have these monsters yet, but I would say besides the $4.99 pack, I mean, it's really similar to the Ymirs. And to be honest, I think the golems and the warlords and the turtles are even better. And you know what are really bad monsters? Are the Hydra monsters. Have you ever killed them and seen the rewards in those chests? They're just not that good. So I think they should replace the Hydras with the pan monsters and everyone will be happy. Anyways, we are against server 974, and I will have to say they're pretty awesome. I'm actually pretty sad that we're gonna have to fight these guys because they are super funny and they knew my YouTube videos. I just said hi, and I already had friends that have seen my videos. So we will have a nice little matchup with these guys, and you know, hopefully there's some content. If not, no biggie. They did have some song requests that I don't know if I can do. But yeah, I guess I will keep you posted, guys, on these pan monsters, since we are the breaking news of that story. And there are some other updates that I found and I saw in my keep, and I will post those videos separately so that they can get their own commentary. But for now, this is all about the pan monsters and giving you guys an update, and hopefully better things to come. You know, hopefully Evony's fixing her game right now. I don't even know if it's open yet. So anyways, hope you guys have a great day, and I will talk to you later. Bye.